Table of contents. Foreword. Chapter 1. Analyzing yourself. Chapter 2. Changing the way you think. Chapter 3. Your interactions with people. Chapter 4. Improving yourself physically. Chapter 5. Improving your personality. Chapter 6. The approach. Chapter 7. Getting what you want. Wrapping up. Foreword. How to make anyone fall in love with you within minutes is a special labor of love from us. When most people saw this title for the first time, they thought I was talking out of my hat. I met people who were completely sure that you could not make anyone fall in love with you in a whole lifetime if they were not interested. But, then, aren't there people who believe in love at first sight as well, and scores of people who never think twice before professing their loves to anybody? So, the ocean is wide on both sides. Which side should we go then? Our ultimate intention here is to make people fall in love with you, and the two in such a way that they become a constructive force in your life. Love is something that can give you strength if you find it from the right person. Here, you are going to see a hitherto unspoken aspect of love. The fact that you can make anyone fall in love with you as soon as you want them to. Of course, there are things to do. You have to put in efforts. Maybe you will have to make some adjustments within yourself too. But, if your current demeanor isn't giving you the things you want, wouldn't it be advisable to make those alterations? After all, at the end of the rope, you have a totally different you. A person whom people cannot wait to fall in love with. How to make anyone fall in love with you within minutes. Uncover the hidden chemistry and find your true love. Chapter 1. Analyzing yourself. Synopsis. When you are trying to make someone love you, the one most important thing you need is to be fully acquainted with yourself. Keep this in mind. People are going to fall in love with you only if you have a personality that impresses them, only if they know that they will get what they want from you. But, if you have to assure people of that, it is necessary that you build for yourself such a personality. So, how do you make those improvements? You begin by understanding completely where you stand at the moment. Be completely sure of what you are capable of. Understand what it is that people are looking for. Understand what's lacking in you. What are the positive points you can play on? What are the negative traits you should try to eliminate? If you want to continue having a magnetic personality that attracts people, you should begin by analyzing yourself and making those corrections when needed. What is love? Our theme here is love. Whatever we are going to talk about in the following pages, it is going to lead to the same conclusion. How to make people fall in love with us, within minutes. Is that possible? Certainly it is. People can fall in love with you the very instant they set their eyes in you. But, that doesn't mean you shouldn't work towards it. It is not going to happen automatically. You have to put in effort. And this effort begins much before that first sight which can kindle love. So, what is love? I would say, love is acceptance. If you love someone, it means you accept them as they are, with their faults and weaknesses. You make their joys and sorrows their own. You are happy in their happiness. You are distressed when they are distressed. And it works the other way round too. When someone falls in love with you, it means they should accept you the way you are. They should not try to change anything about you, because that is very unlikely to happen. The first thing you need to get started is to know what love is. It is only when you understand the true meaning of love will you acknowledge it when someone falls in love with you. Love needn't be worn on the sleeve all the time. Maybe someone is loving you right now and you don't know it. Look around you. Think about the people you know. Is there someone who is quite happy with what you are, loves your company, makes plans with you and wants to be with you? Perhaps that's the person for you. Perhaps not. But, give it a thought. There are too many people you have around you, even if you are a complete introvert. Sit down and analyze. Have you found your love already and don't know it? If you don't have the correct perspective of love, then you will not understand it when it comes your way. You will have wasted an opportunity. And that's not the point of this book. It is not always like they show in the movies. When you fall in love, you won't hear bells chiming or guitars playing. In fact, most people realize only later that they are in love with a particular person. Remember the main point that love is acceptance. If you are ready to accept someone as they are, and if they are ready to accept you as you are, then you have scored already. your strengths and your weaknesses. A lot of people are selfish to the point to impudence. They expect the best in their partners, but they do not take a look at themselves. They are too busy dealing with how their perfect man or woman should be, but they do not bother about their own selves. That is why most times we end up expecting too much than what we deserve. Now, it is not that we should not build high expectations, but dreaming in vain serves no purpose. It only leads to heartbreak when things do not go the way we want. And, if you cannot cut your coat according to your cloth, such heartbreak is more likely to happen. So, you need to begin with a little introspection first. Start by finding out what you are good at, and what you are not good at. Think from the other person's point of view. How do they consider you? What do they think are your strengths and weaknesses? Make a list of all those points. Write them down. When you see words taking shape in front of you, they make a better impact on the mind. Be honest with yourself. This list is only for you, no one else is going to see it, so you can be as frank with it as you want. It does not matter if your weaknesses are far too many in comparison to your strengths. Once you have this list ready, start planning your strategies. You have to think of a two-pronged approach. You have to think what you can do to correct your weaknesses, and you have to think what you can do to enhance your strengths. Everyone has imperfections, but not everyone realizes them. The very fact that you can come out of denial and accept the shortcomings within you will mean a lot to you. Acceptance is always the first step of improvement. Some of these weaknesses will be trivial things. Things like you do not know how to dance, you do not know how to approach people, you have a habit of not listening to people when they are conversing with you, and so on. It is easy to improve upon them. Some of them may be severe, such as financial problem or a health problem. See what you can do to improve upon it. At the same time, do not forget the underlying theme here. A person truly loves you only if they can accept you as they are. But that does not mean you do not try and improve yourself whenever you can. If you want someone to fall in love with you, then it is your responsibility to be a better person for them as well. Also, do not ignore your strengths. If you have something that could be great in a relationship, work on them a little more. See how you can improve there. A little education never hurts. Practice your expertise to perfection. Often, people will ignore your weaknesses if your strengths are too great. So, that is where you start. Understanding what love is, and then understanding what kind of a person you are. When you have these two things firmly entrenched in your mind, you are on your way to finding love at the drop of a hat. Chapter 2. Changing the way you think. Synopsis. If you